Hi everybody, it's Carla with Cobweb Corner and welcome to FlossTube number 41, I think it is. I'm not even sure. I'm going to do a little bit different format today. I'm going to skip some of my, oh, hi Bo. This is Bordeaux. She likes to join us. I'm going to skip some of my normal segments today and talk a little bit more about the business side of things and what's been going on with everything with the virus and stuff like that, and also a massive inventory reduction sale that I'm having, and I want to explain how that works and what small businesses, well, and large businesses too, do with inventory that they can't sell and how they write that down and that type of thing. So anyway, I didn't make a list, so we'll see how this goes, and then I'm gonna talk for a little bit, and then I'm gonna get my phone and show you some of the things that some of the just absolute chaos that I have going on right now in my work area and my house. So bear with me. Stitching wise, I didn't have any finishes, which is no big surprise there because I had 2 finishes just last week. I did stitch a little bit more on Bluebird of Happiness, and it's coming along really well. I only stitched a couple nights this week because I am working on my first design, and I don't have a color printout of it, and I'm not sure whether, I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyway, this is the design. And it says, when it's over, all that matters is how we treated one another. Choose kindness. And it's only got 5 colors. The flowers are a deep red and then a kind of antique rose, and then just one color of green. And then these are like a cornflower blue, and the word kindness is in a darker cornflower blue. So I started stitching it, and this is it won't be as big as this, but this is on 14 count Aida, so it's pretty big, and I'm worried that I made it too big, and I don't really know how to make it smaller. But overall, you know, I got to learn. I'm using wind stitch, and I am learning that it's cumbersome, and I wish it did things differently. But I'm getting used to it, and I'm going to there's an update out that I think will help me a little bit. So I thought about changing the words to make it a little bit shorter, oh, I don't know, instead of when it's over, all that matters, something like afterwards, all that matters is how we treated each other. Choose kindness. But I made it with the idea of the current events, and I truly believe this. I think we're going to get through everything. I know we're going to get through everything. Some people better than others, and I know it's really hard on everyone right now, but I do believe that we have to approach it with hope and kindness, and that's what my message was for in that design. So I'll keep stitching it up and working on it. Let me know what you think. Go ahead and say it's crappy, it's too big, stay with your day job, whatever you want to say. I don't care, I can take it. So the other stitchy thing that I did was I haven't started it yet, but I ordered some inventory, and I chose a new start that I'm going to do, something quick and simple, and it's by Little House Needleworks, and it's called Miss Peepers, and I just love it. I just think it's so adorable. I kind of feel like if she had a cross stitch hoop in her wing somehow, she'd be reading a chart, but reading a book. She's got her readers on, which is me. I either have to have stuff on my iPad and have it blown up to 200% or have my cheaters on. So I've ordered one of these. Is going to be for me. I only ordered 2. If you want to stitch with me, put down in the comments that you'd like to stitch Miss Peepers, and I'll order some extras and get them in stock. I'm going to be putting an order in with Witchelt today. So I think she's just really cute. She calls for, it calls for Weeks Dye Works, Gast, and Classic Colorworks, and DMC. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors. And of course there's DMC alternates for the, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 hand-dyed threads called for, and then there's the DMC alternates, and it's only 80 by 80. So if you want to stitch along with me on this, no formal stitch along or anything like that, but if you think you'd like to stitch that with me, then just put I'd like to stitch Miss Peepers, and I'll order a few extra copies and get those in stock. Speaking of in stock, so the main thing that the virus has affected is floss, the ability for people to get floss, because so many of their local stores and even the big box stores are closed, and we're running out of floss. I'm open, I'm shipping usually next day. I have been swamped with floss orders. General Art Sampler Threads it has not been shipping floss for 3 or 4 weeks now, and they don't have plans to open. I think they're in Ohio, and as long as they have a stay-at-home order, they will not be shipping floss. So everybody everywhere is running out of General Art Sampler Threads. As retailers, we order directly from them. It's not like we order from Hoffman, etc. So those are getting low. There's a lot of colors that I'm out of, and I cannot replace them until they order again. Remember that I only sell 10-yard skeins, so if you do order the colors from the colors I still have in stock, that's like buying 2 skeins, 2 5-yard skeins. So don't think you have to overbuy and order, 5 skeins of one color, because that would be the same as 10 skeins of 5-yard skeins. So then on the Weeks Dye Works, I get Weeks Dye Works and I get Classic Color Works from Hoffman, and they have been filling my orders, but more and more colors are not being included with my orders. I have another order coming in tomorrow, and it seems like the same colors are all, oops, sorry, just had an order in my Etsy shop, so it goes ka-ching, which I like that sound. Anyway, sorry. It seems like there is more and more colors that aren't being included. They have not told me that Weeks Dye Works and or Classic Color Works are not shipping to them. So I'm trying to get a status update on that. My DMC floss I get from Witchelt, and my last DMC order had probably 7 or 8 colors not included. So I did contact them and I said, is DMC no longer shipping to you? And because like 310 black was out of stock, and I'm out of that now. And they said, we have not heard that DMC is not shipping. And as soon as we get the colors in, they will automatically ship to you, because they do a back order thing. So anything that isn't included in my order comes at a later date. But so far I haven't gotten any of those that were back ordered. So I just am not getting a clear idea of whether the people who make the floss are supplying any floss anymore. I did go to Kreinik site to look up a certain color, and they're closed completely. So they are, I get my Kreinik through Witchelt. So Kreinik themselves, the manufacturer, is not shipping to customers or probably to wholesalers. So that'll just be a matter. I'm sure Witchelt has a ton already in stock in their warehouse. But things like that are starting to be affected, which is too bad, because we have all so much time to stitch. So once if you are unable to find a color, then reach out to me or your stitching community. There are so many other colors that are almost exact matches. So, it may call for a General Arts color, and there might be a Weeks Dye Works or a Classic Color Works or even a DMC floss that would do just fine, especially if it's only used in a few stitches. And, the places where you're not going to want to substitute your floss are some of the obvious larger areas that are stitched with a mottled, a floss with a lot of variation in color. And then you're not going to get the same effect. So you just have to decide if you want to wait or if you want to try to substitute. And I'll be glad to answer those questions as best I can. If I don't have that particular color in in stock. I just have to go by a picture of the color, and I can try to do some recommendations for you. But your stitching community, if you're on a Facebook group or something like that, ask away there and people will be glad to give you suggestions. There's also just Google, you know, conversion for classic colorworks to general arts threads or something like that, and you'll find it there. But I still have a ton of floss in stock, and I just can't believe the number of orders that I'm getting. Business in general has just been crazy, crazy, crazy busy. So I know that people are stitching, and I think it's great because I think stitching is just a wonderful meditative way to calm ourselves down and relieve some of that anxiety that everybody's feeling right now. Sorry. So last week's giveaway was I'm giving away my copy of Sunflower Farms, and I had 21 people sign up for this, and the winner is Claudine Heffel, E-H-F-F-E-L. I hope I said that right. So Claudine, if you would email me, my email is in the information below, and send me an email with your shipping address, I will get that out to you. So congratulations, Claudine. And next week's giveaway is going to be my copy of Summer Delivery by Plum Street Sampler. So if you would like to win that, and it's in brand new condition, I make working copies, so this is like a brand new chart. And if you would like to win Summer Delivery, say, I would like to stitch the horse. I would like to stitch the horse. So that's it kind of for stitching news and kind of an update on, I really wanted to update you on floss availability. So what I want to talk to you about now is right now on my Facebook group that I normally use for auction sales, I'm having a huge 50-cent sale. There's about 100, right now there's about 115 charts that are 50 cents each. And I wanted to talk about why I'm doing that, because I'm selling them at a loss, and how I got myself in the predicament of having this much inventory that I can sell it at 50 cents. And then I'm going to stop this video and take you out and show you what I'm doing with it and what my house looks like right now. So first of all, I got myself into a situation very, very early on in my shop owner career, probably around 2004. And at that time, I was pretty much only purchasing stock from shops that went out of business or from personal inventory. So I was doing a lot of searching on eBay, and I ran across this eBay listing, and there was like 3 of them by the same seller, and they were selling like 600 or 800 books for just dirt cheap, like 50 cents a book or 42 cents a book or something like that. But and there was 3 of them. And so I contacted the guy and I said, you know, I'm really interested in this. Are they new? Were they in a smoking home? What's the deal? And he said, these are from a shop that my aunt owned, and she passed away, and I'm kind of stuck with it, and I just have no idea what to do with it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the perfect way for me to just get a whole shop full's worth of inventory for really, really cheap. So he was really hesitant because they came in these literally huge boxes that had almost like a pallet type thing. And there was 3 of them. And he was hesitant because it was going to cost him a fortune to ship. And I wasn't going to pay the extra to have it shipped because he was in Canada. And shipping was a lot cheaper then, but it was still really expensive. So finally we agreed on it, and it ended up I got the charts for like 47 cents a piece, and they arrive at my house, and I open them up, and I've talked about this in a video quite a while ago. I opened it up, and it was like some of them were 250 copies of the same chart, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And they were quite old, and some of them were really nice. There was like maybe 10 Prairie Schoolers in there, and a couple Stitch magazines that were real nice. But I couldn't believe the quantity. I had no idea. That was my newbie mistake. I didn't ask. I didn't ask for photos. I didn't ask for, quantity of duplicates. So I had these charts of literally 200 of the same chart. And I just was like, oh my gosh, well, that was 15, 16 years ago. And I still have 150 to 200 of some of those charts. I have tried everything. I put them on my site, at 75 cents, at $1.50. Because sometimes, honestly, sometimes people will look at something that's 75 cents and they're like, oh, that's really, they like think that must not be a good chart because it's only 75 cents. So I've tried all different kinds of things. I've had used them in my free chart with purchase giveaways. I've bundled them in sets of 10 and put them on eBay for 99 cents for 10, and I get zero bids and stuff. And lately I have been buying new inventory just like crazy. And I have nowhere to put it because I'll have one filing cabinet that's this full of the same chart. And I'm like, and I just get so anxiety ridden over it. And like, I am never going to sell these. I'm never going to sell them. So finally, I've just got to I've just got to recycle these, take some of them to Goodwill and just recycle them and do a write-off. So the business part of that is it's called a write down. And every business will have write downs usually every year. And a write down will occur if you have damaged inventory or damaged it's inventory write down. So you're, let's say you have water damage or like when I was doing jewelry, I did hand stamped jewelry with words on them. And if I messed up, that piece of metal was ruined and I would still have to take that out of my inventory. Um, you get stuff that's damaged in the mail, different things like that. Loss, theft, all of those are write downs, but also loss of value is a write down. So, for example, if you're a computer business or you sell iPhones, let's say, and you still have 100 iPhone 3s or whatever, you're just not going to be able to, you might have paid $400 for those and they're worth $100 now. Well, it's better for you to write down that loss and wipe that off your inventory. And you count, there's a couple different ways to do it. You end up taking, it's like a cost of goods sold. So you reduce your inventory, but you have to put that against an expense account. And so you create an expense account in your inventory tracking or in your records, and it's called write down or loss due to theft or whatever you want. And then that ends up reducing the amount of your inventory. So I'm like, I'm just going to get all these hundreds of books, choose a few, stacks of 30 or 40 of some of them, take them to Goodwill, and the rest are going to recycling. And I just hate, I don't want to recycle, but I know that my little Goodwill shop here is not going to be real happy about getting 200 of the same chart and having them sit on their shelf forever. And I literally have tried giving these away as much as I can. So last Sunday, I sat down and I scanned about 125 of them, and I'm using my Facebook group to sell them for 50 cents a piece. And the way it works is domestic shipping only. If you buy up to 10, the shipping is $3. And if you buy 10 or more, it's $5. And as soon as I said 10 or more is $5, because I was just losing money like crazy on shipping, everybody buys 10. I was having orders for like 30, 35 charts, but they get really heavy, and then I have to ship them priority. So shipping was costing me $7.58. And the books, I'm basically selling them for what I paid for them. So every sale I have pretty much is losing a little bit of money, but I get some cash flow, and I don't have to think about recycling these or taking them to Goodwill and have them get stuck with them and stuff like that. And I've had a great response to the sale. So what I'm going to do now is take you out and kind of show you what my house looks like and show you some of the charts that are available for 50 cents. And then I'm going to show you my disaster work area. I thought about trying to clean it up a little bit before I showed you, but you know, that wouldn't really be real life. So, because I have not been filing. So I've been getting inventory in and getting inventory in and not putting it away. And it's just piling up everywhere. And then every time I have an order for one of the charts that isn't filed where I know where to find it, I have to sit there and go through piles of charts looking for one particular chart. And my stress level has just been, oh my gosh, I get an order because I'm so busy. It's been taking me like 4 hours every morning to fill orders. And I'll get an order from one that I know is in this unfiled pile, like the pile from hell, you know? And I'm like, sorry if that offended anybody. And I'm like, oh, I gotta go through that pile and try to find this chart. So anyway, I needed to make space in my file cabinet. So anyway, I'm gonna sign off now and I'm gonna get my phone and we'll see if, you know, I am gonna be walking around and I'll try not to make people too dizzy, but I'll show you what I got going on. So I'll be right back. Okay, this is Carla, and I tried to figure out how to start with me and flip the phone around again, but I couldn't figure that out. So I'm just going to have the phone facing away from me. So right now I'm showing you my work area, and usually I'm in my nice office, but my husband is working from home. So we have moved me back here in the work area. So I've got shipping supplies, my desktop, and my scale, my label maker, my scanner, and then my printer is in another area. Sorry, I'm moving too fast. I'm going to show you my pile from hell. So here is all of the charts that I've entered and not filed. And so there are just dozens of them. See this basket full of all these charts? So all of this has to be filed. And when I get an order for those and it's in that pile, I just have to start going through the pile one at a time. And here's all the file cabinets where I keep my inventory. And those are absolutely jam-packed full. So you can see I have them sorted by publisher and they are stuffed full. So I need to make room, which is why I'm having the 50-cent sale. Over here, sorry, I mean, I'm walking around because I'm not in my office. I'm just really packed in. Over here are more. This is inventory that's been entered, but is not filed, and it's all individual publishers because I just have no room to. So those are sorted. So I got Plum Street Samplers and Teresa Kogut's down here, and then I've got my DMC floss. So it's just right now it is just a mess and I'm going crazy. So and then I've got my needle minders where I can find them, not all of them, but a bunch of my needle minders. So anyway, I took the 115 to 125 charts. This is then our downstairs living area. This is where I stitch. I absolutely love my OttLite with a stand, and I can sit there and put the recliner up and stitch away. And oh, I want to show you guys something because this light just came on. This is my, I don't know what you call it, friendship light. I got myself this light on Uncommon Goods, and I got 3 of them, one for myself, one for my mom, and one for my daughter. And right now it's red, which means my mom has touched her light to say she's thinking of us. When I touch the light, it turns green. And then her light and my daughter's light turns green. And that lets them know that I'm thinking of them. We absolutely love this. I love it for my mom. She's 85. My dad uses it too. He touches it all the time. And it's just kind of a early morning thing. The first thing I do is come down here and touch the light, and then they know that, oh, and now it's, oh, and I guess it looks purple, but it's really red. So that's my mom's color again. When it's light purple, it means my daughter has touched it. So it's a good way for me to know my folks are up and around and they're doing good without having to give them a call. And all three of us just love these. So anyway, that's kind of a segue. There's Bo. That's our heated beds. So anyway, the 50-cent sale. So this is what our basement looks like right now. We start here with that pile of books. I've got books on top of the fireplace, a whole 2 tables full of books, more books, more books, and more books. All of those were in filing cabinets and taking up room. And these are all from that horrible purchase that I bought like 15 years ago. So real quickly, I'll show you a few that in order to buy these for 50 cents, you need to join what's normally is our auction Facebook group. And then there are photos of these and you just write down which ones you want, send me a list, and I'll send you an invoice. And so let me show you some of the ones that I think are great deals. This one is Nature's Notebook by Cross My Heart. It's got those, and then on the back, some more there. Just Cats by Pegasus. That, the back of it, all kinds of little tiny kitty cat photos, and then a couple bigger ones. A lot of them you're like, oh, you know, that's just really old. But some of them might have 1 or 2 more motifs that are worth 50 cents. You think about what a chart costs now. That is baby book. Here's another one. Older country style. But you know, some of the little tiny charts nowadays are like $8 just for one little miniature. This is Yesterday's Wishes. Let's see, bird houses. I've got probably 70 of these. The Bibs and Blankets Tea and Rose collection. Aren't those adorable? Perfect Pets. I've got a number of Cricket collection charts. This one is Twigs, and I've got Bits and Pieces. Another hopscotch Flotsgraph. These are really nice detail on those. All of these are older charts, 50 cents each. So this one's another Cricket one. This is so cute. Night and Day. Sorry. So that is what I'm living with right now. And you can see how much file cabinet space these would take up being in file cabinets. And I need to make room for other ones. Here's a Just Nan chart. It's called My Fair Ladybug. And over here, I like this one, Sentiments. A lot of people have bought this one. These would make cute gifts for grandparents. Look at how many of this one I have. And I think there's more back there. Smooth Sailing. This one too. Whole pile of those. Pride of the West. So the information for the sale will be in my more information below. Please spread the word, even if you don't see anything that you like, and try to keep me from having to take these to Goodwill. I just really have a feeling that if I took you know, there's got to be thousands of books here. And if I took all this to Goodwill, they would cull out a few and they would just recycle the rest. So I would rather sell them at a loss to you guys and have somebody stitch them than have to do that. All right. Okay, so you kind of see what my poor husband has been having to put up with lately, and I would love to just have this sale get going again. I have sold probably 300 of the charts already. So I'm getting a great response, and I had posted a couple videos about it on my YouTube channel, but I wanted to actually show you what I was doing and why I'm doing it and why it needs to be done as a business owner also. So I hope that made sense, and thanks for putting up with my mess and everything's just kind of crazy right now. Happy stitching, everybody, and I hope you have a great week. Bye-bye.